Good morning, and welcome to Redeemer Lutheran Church. I'm Pastor Gary Lodeholt. This past week, I was asked by our senior citizens group to share my slides and some of my experiences from my trip to Israel a little over 20 years ago. As I prepared that presentation, I realized that there were several other experiences I had there that I wasn't planning to include, and that perhaps you'd enjoy touring along with those things. So today I want to begin with our journey to the Temple Mount. If you see pictures of Jerusalem, you will see a building with a large golden dome, and that's where the temple used to be. I say used to be because in response to a rebellion, the whole complex was destroyed by the Romans in the year AD 70. The whole place is now a Muslim shrine because the Muslims believe that a significant event in the life of Muhammad also happened in the very same place later on. Anyway, we were headed up to see it, and along the way we got our first glimpse of the Western Wall. This is a foundation wall of the Temple Mount, and it's significant for a couple of reasons. It's the only part of the Jewish temple still standing, and it was also the closest the average Jew could get to the Holy of Holies in the temple, the very footstool of God. Later in our trip, we made a special journey to the wall ourselves. One of the tidbits you might find interesting is that the wall is immense in size, and the stones in the wall weigh an average of 30 to 40 tons apiece. Excavations have revealed one stone, and it's up in the wall, not on the bottom, that weighs in excess of 400 tons. We don't have a crane now that can lift a stone like that, and no one knows how they got that stone there. This wall is also called the Wailing Wall, not just because Jews come there to pray, but also because at night the wall is covered with dew, and they say that the wall is weeping over the destruction of the temple. The legend is that the wall will stop weeping when the Messiah comes. The area to access the wall is divided with men on one side and women on the other, and you are encouraged to write a prayer and push it into the cracks of the wall. Those prayers that fall out are swept up each evening and kept in storehouses. One more thing about the wall. You may have seen pictures of people praying at this wall, bending over and bowing repeatedly. They are following the biblical call for even their bones to rejoice in prayer. Later on this day, we made our journey through the Via Dolorosa. In other words, we followed the path Christ walked from his sentencing to death by Pontius Pilate all the way to the site of his crucifixion and resurrection in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. As we followed in his steps, we found the path to make its way through the marketplace, probably much like it did then. The Romans would have wanted as many people as possible to see what was happening to someone who caused trouble. And this was all well and good until we came to the seventh stop on the journey. This was a very authentic site because at this spot they found the original gate of the city, meaning that Jesus certainly passed this way on his way to his crucifixion outside of town. But what amazed me was that I recognized the place. The day before, we had had some free time, which I used to wander around in the marketplace and to buy some souvenirs. I had come upon a green cart with some of the largest strawberries I had ever seen, and that was the site of number 7. However, when I had been there the day before, I didn't know that this place was part of the Via Dolorosa, or that it was so authentic. I remember thinking how amazing it is that our busyness and consumerism blinds us to seeing what is right in front of us. How often are our eyes filled by enticing things like big red strawberries, and so much so that we miss the very presence of Jesus right with us. The words Via Dolorosa mean the way of sorrows. Jesus walked that way for us. Thanks for watching, and remember to let this day belong to God.